Welcome to the seated practice. Go ahead and find yourself in a comfortable seated position, and you can be in a chair for this. I would recommend that the chair not have armrests, or if they do, for them to be pretty widely spaced so you have a little bit of room. If you're seated in a chair, perhaps having your feet bare to make that connection. And if you're seated on the ground, you can be cross-legged or really whatever feels right. And it can change throughout the class. Let your body be the guide in this. So I'm going to be cross-legged. And feel free to sit on a pillow or blanket or, a scrunched up sweater. And once you find yourself here, close the eyes. Observe your inner landscape. Notice how it feels to be in your body right here, right now, not shoving out any emotion, any way of being, just welcoming in all parts of you. The emotion, what feels open, what feels tight. Noticing the way the breath naturally moves in. Notice the texture of this breath, where it chooses to meet you internally. What spaces it doesn't touch, or just small tendrils of the air that barely meet your backspace or your belly, or the spaces within that feel stagnant, not judging anything, simply observing this moment. Feeling the texture of the clothes on your skin, the moisture content of the air around you. And go ahead and tuck the tailbone slightly and allow your pelvic bowl to feel really heavy, like a pot full of dark, earthy soil. And imagine sending down energetic rootlets, not getting caught up in what these look like. They can look however you wish. Or perhaps there's not an image that comes to mind at all. That's okay. It's more this connection that's being made that's important. Imagining that you could root through the layers beneath you, mat or chair. Perhaps there's a floor, a basement, whatever layers need to be gone through to reach the earth. Feel as these roots burrow down, brushing past earthworms, stone, perhaps buried remnants from humans, perhaps crystals and other roots, until they meet with the crystalline structure of mycelia, the network, the underground network that connects all the beings that are rooted into this landscape. From this space, with your next inhale, imagine breathing in from this place of connection, up from the earth, into the heart space, and hold. With your exhale, releasing down from the heart, all the way down through the sit bones, into the soil, holding the breath out. Inhale, breathing all the way up into the heart, hold it. Notice how it feels. Notice the earthiness in the chest, any thought formations or emotional sensations that bubble forth. And exhale, let it go down into the earth. Keep doing this breath on your own. And as you do so, imagine a particular botanical being that you know is rooted somewhere nearish by. Perhaps it's an herb in your garden, a tree in your backyard, a stand of nettles near the creek down the road a few miles. A botanical being that has been catching your eye lately or that you feel really drawn to. And if there's none that you feel really drawn to, just one that you've noticed. Through this mycelial network, you are connecting with this being. Through your breath, you are connected. Keeping with that inhale into the heart, holding it, and exhale into the earth, to that plant. And from here, whenever you're holding the breath in the heart, maybe coming up with an intention or a sense of gratitude, a thank you, or a question or a dream that you would like to dream with this landscape. And with your exhale, sending that, whatever it is, down through your roots to be received by this landscape, by that particular being you are connecting with here. And with your inhales, as you hold it, also notice if there's any sensations or messages or feelings of being held or heard. It may be very subtle. It is within these subtle places, making capacity within ourselves to hear that which is almost indiscernible, that makes the space for us to hear the many languages of this existence. The languages of this world are many-tongued, are not necessarily spoken with word or even with the mouth. Perhaps through the air or electrical impulses or yearnings, desires. Listen, listen, listen. Take 3 more breaths in this very intentional space. And gently blink open the eyes. And if you're cross-legged or in any position really, and you want to move around or switch which leg is in front, go ahead and do that now. Get a little more balance for the hips. Placing the hands onto the knees to begin with. With your inhale, elbows pull back, shoulder blades squeeze together and down. Sit bones reach back and the heart pulls forward and up, perhaps letting the head drop back ever so gently, listening to the body, breathing here. And with your next exhale, tuck the tailbone, round the lower back, middle back, suctioning that solar plexus in and up. The arms straighten and pressing the back of the heart as if you could move it between the shoulder blades, pressing back, chin tucks to chest ever so slightly. Breathing here for a moment. And now moving between these spaces with the breath. Inhale, elbows bend, shoulder blades squeeze together and down. Heart reaches up towards those tendrils of sunlight. Exhale, progressively round, pressing the heart back, tucking the chin. Inhale, sweeps you forward. And exhale, pulls you back. And perhaps you want to bring the arms into this with your inhale, opening the arms up, palms facing forward. And exhale, progressively round. The arms come forward, palms facing one another. Inhale, open. And exhale, round. We're going to be here for a little bit. I want you to just really listen to the body. If there's another way you'd like to move here, follow that call. Perhaps the hands are still on the knees. Maybe you want to round. Maybe with the arms open, you want to sway side to side as if you were a plant, a tree dancing in the wild winds. We'll spend 5 breaths just allowing ourselves to be intuitively guided. Moving in silence, perhaps closing the eyes to really listen. Doesn't have to look any certain way. This is all about how it feels. 2 more breaths. And finding your way back to stillness. Bring the hands forwards above that energetic center, just below the belly button, palms facing one another, letting the arms be engaged but soft at the same time, letting go. Crown of the head reaches up towards the cosmos. That tailbone is slightly tucked, being drawn towards the center of the earth. And perhaps closing the eyes, perhaps keeping them open with this ego vision, seeing nothing in particular and everything at once. Allow the hands to listen, to observe, to feel. Notice any sensation within the palms, just noticing the aliveness within your hands. Notice the sensations just outside of the hands, the air between the fingers, the space just outside the palms. And notice if the palms start to speak to one another, speaking through sensation, that is, of course. Perhaps there's a feeling of warmth or a tingling or a pulsing. Perhaps you feel as though you're holding on to an energetic ball, or you feel like there's a pulsing sensation moving back and forth between the palms. And maybe again it's super subtle. Maybe it feels almost like nothing. Don't pressure yourself. There's no supposed to here. There's just noticing, being with, observing. Slowly bring the hands to face in front of the heart space. Palms are facing the heart. Crown of the head is reaching up, and maybe once again picturing that rooted being that you connected with at the very beginning of class. Imagining how they stand, how they hold up their leaves or their arms if it's like a cactus behind me. Feeling your limbs, your arms carried by the air. Those shoulders are draping down. Crown of the head is reaching up. This might start to feel tiring, but imagine that the air is here to help you, to hold you. And again, notice the sensations now between palms and heart. You may feel that they're all having a conversation. Notice the sensational experiences here. Inhale, breathe into the heart, and with your exhale, send again an intention or some gratitude to that botanical being for all that it does, doing the work of the world simply by rooting by staying still, by holding up its limbs even when it's hard. The left hand releases and the fingertips kind of spider down, kind of like a tent down onto the earth. And go ahead and bring that just next to the left hip or just behind the left sit bone. Inhale, right arm reaches up. So pressing into the ground with those left fingertips, pulling them all in towards center. They don't really move, they're rooted, but energetically pulling in. Inhale to lengthen. And exhale. Right hand comes to wherever works best for you. If it's the shin today, the knee, maybe the back of the hand comes outside of that left thigh. Honoring where you're at. Crown of the head still reaches up. Belly button pulls in and up. And the gaze can be in the direction of the heart, or perhaps you want to swivel around. Notice what you see. Notice something that draws your eyes. Focus on this intensely. Like a bird of prey searching out its nourishment, letting the gaze become sharp. Close the eyes for a moment and open them again, seeing everything at once. Letting the gaze be soft. Belly button pulls in and up. Both arms reach up. And exhale, right fingertips spider down onto the ground next to the hip or behind the right sit bone. Pressing into the ground, rooting with sit bones and fingertips. Inhale. Crown of the head, the left fingertips reach up for that nourishment of starlight. Inhale. Exhale. Bringing that left hand wherever feels right for you. Shin, knee, thigh. Noticing what you see in this direction. How far you want to twist the neck. Letting your body be your teacher and guide. Pulling that belly button in and up. Depending on what botanical being you're connected with, you may feel even more connected. Here, the barrel cactus twists. In the place I call home, the juniper is shaped by its dance with wind. Feeling how the breath moves here, how it swirls, where it reaches. Inhale, arms reach up, coming back to center, and exhale to release. Closing the eyes. And here we'll take some hip openers of choice. So if you would like to come into a butterfly position, perhaps having your feet connected out in front of you, it could be more like a diamond shape or pulled in real close. If you're seated in a chair, perhaps you want to come into a pigeon-like pose, crossing one ankle over the other thigh above the knee. And perhaps you want to take a position like that seated. Maybe you want to come into fire log pose or double pigeon, placing one foot on top of the knee, the other knee over the other foot, just listening to where you want to be You can stay in stillness, or you perhaps you want to place a stack of books or blocks or pillows and rest the arms forwards. Perhaps it's really necessary for you to stay upright. And remember, each day can be different from the last, honoring your moment right here, right now. If you are in a position that asks you to switch, listen when that comes, when that request is sent. And again, just listening, observing how the body feels, how the breath moves. Feeling how you are held in this position, in this moment. Feeling the part of you that is connected to the ground. How it is held, connected. What it feels like to meet the ground. Can you notice how your breath and the energies from this connection are moving through your body in this position? Maybe it's easy and seamless and obvious. Maybe it's hard to find. And finding a position now when you feel called in. If you want to stay in a hip opener, go ahead. Just ending out this class. Finding a place to close the eyes and rest. If you'd rather come to a lying down position, or if you're in a chair, if you want to lean back, if that feels good to you, go ahead. Just letting the breath be natural. To close, I'm going to read you a poem from The Field Guide to the Haunted Forest by Jared K. Anderson. Just opening it to a page that feels good. As you see, I have a lot of bookmarks. Oh, maybe you don't see, your eyes should be closed. This is called Family Resemblance. Our blood is red because of the iron we inherited from the earth. Iron to bind oxygen from trees and phytoplankton. Our blood and breath are hand-me-downs. The landscape is not scenery, it's family. Notice the resemblance. Our blood is mostly water. Iron to bind oxygen built using the energy of sunlight. Water, earth, air, fire. You may feel separated from the natural world, but just look at what you are. Look at how you live. You are not born to this place. You are born of this place. Take 1 square meter of your bedroom, of the deepest abyss of sunless sea, of the brutal emptiness of interstellar space. Put them side by side and see the harmony. They are all children of the same natural laws. Our bodies speak of contradiction. Bones and soft tissue, teeth and lips, sensitive resilience. What strong family resemblance we share with the landscape that shaped us. Wind and stone, river and oak. This old dance of opposing forces creating a unified whole. Big inhale, filling up. Exhale, sigh it out. If you're able to comfortably reach the ground, go ahead and place your hands there. If not, place the hands on the body and just really feel into those areas that are connected to the ground, your feet, your sit bones. Inhale into the heart space, and with your exhale, send to the earth a thank you. Thank you to the land for all the ways in which it nourishes and holds you. Thank you to that botanical being for inspiring you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And thank you for being here and for practicing with me. To our teachers, human and other, and to the teacher within, bowing.